Good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning, April 26th. It is 8:10 in the morning. I just want to quickly run through the charts of gold and the S&P 500 so you can see what the potential movements are today and what I'm thinking, and then we'll go from there. So here is the Kitco gold overlay chart. Now it's only showing 2 days really because of the weekend and because of Sunday session here. But more or less what we saw on Friday was gold move sideways, and then we saw a huge rally in the morning. And for all we know, that we could get that same price action today, and gold could rally up large. So we do have our stop set in place around the 62.50. So make sure that you have your stop in place because gold, as you know, can rally very strong and very quickly. So it's easy to miss your stop price and get a much higher fill, which you don't want. So keep your stops in place. That's what I'm seeing on the Kitco overlay chart. Now if we pull up the gold hourly, you can see just a simple visual here. We've got the head and the shoulder, which we shorted up here and caught the downdraft. But now we've got this rally right back into a resistance level, and this is where we shorted it on Friday, and now we're hoping for the much larger leg down, which has got about a $25 to $40 move potential, and we have our stop set just above this high at about $7 to $8 risk. So it's a good risk reward ratio. Now if I zoom in on this chart, I just want to show you a little pattern that I always find is fairly accurate. What it is this chart isn't a perfect example, but what happens is more or less you see a rally go straight up, and then you see it pull back down, and then it does this drift to test this high, and usually it'll just penetrate the high by a little bit, and then you usually get selling coming back. And in general, everybody knows bull flag should have a flagpole going up and then the flag waves down, but because this kind of slowly drifts up on light volume, the rally isn't real, so any sell order slams it back down and it'll go back up, and it just keeps getting sold down, and eventually when volume comes in it gets pushed down. So a lot of times we can see this whole move get erased and come back down. So that's one pattern that I do like, and I'll show you the similar patterns that help pick tops in the S&P. But in short, we're just seeing gold right now just trading at just below our stop, which is up here at a resistance level. If I zoom into the daily chart, you can see where I think we are right now is we've had these head and shoulders, these mini head and shoulders, and I have a feeling that we are right at these tops right here, and of course they all test close to the previous shoulder from where these highs are. So with any luck we're going to have a nice downdraft. The cycles are in favor. As you can see, we've got this longer cycle moving down here, and when the shorter term cycle is in sync right near the end, that's when you get the down thrust. And we have the same here. We've got the cycle turning down on the long term, short term cycle starts to head down, and we get a nice down thrust. And we've got the long term cycle down. The small short term cycle is about to roll over today, and here we are at the shoulder. So I have a feeling that we're going to catch one of these down thrusts. If it doesn't go our way and we get a jump and our stop gets triggered, then that's just the way it goes. But this setup to me looks very good. There is excellent risk reward ratio on it, and that's what I'm looking for that. Now I'm just going to pull up the S&P. This is the daily chart. Where I think we are on the S&P, I have a feeling that we are somewhere right about here, and if we get any type of little pullback, we'll most likely buy a little pullback and adjust our stops and play any more upside potential. We're only buying into selling pressure, so it alleviates a good portion of the risk, but we could also be at a topping stage here, and so there's not much we can do other than we're going to trade with the trend right now. We're not going to try and pick a top here. Unless we do get a really good looking setup, then we might try a short position again. but pretty much looking to buy on any little dip, and we'll go from there. Now if I pull up the 60-minute chart, I'll be able to show you this little setup that I was talking about before. I'll zoom out a bit. Okay, this is a very small pattern here, but after you get a strong run up and the market is overbought, what I see is you get this rally up right here, and then it pulls straight back down and then drifts up just like that. And it does it on no volume through the night, and if it does happen through the day, it's got to be a little less volume than normal. So it's that pattern that leads to pretty much a sell-off, which gives back that entire gain. So if you can see it, what it is just a bar straight up, and then it pulls straight back down and then just kind of drifts up to test the highs. Now there is another one, an even nicer one earlier, and it is a push straight up, comes straight back down and drifts back. And this was that head and shoulders for the S&P I pointed out a while ago. I did a video saying it looked like a good short here, and but this pattern helped pick the exact top. We were completely overbought. We had this top reversal pattern, and then it formed the head and shoulders, and then we had a nice breakdown, almost a 2% pullback. So that's a little pattern that you can keep your eyes open for, and I'll point out every time they form, because they are very accurate, and they help pick literally tops and bottoms on short-term moves. So that's it for this morning. I will talk to you guys in the chat room. Bye bye.